Hello, guys. So as you know, or should know, I'm Craig Wiltshire and I'm your assessor. Today I'm going to be looking at the workbook, and we're going to be looking at the different units. There's a lot of confusion, guys, that I found you guys are going through at the moment. This is no fault of your own. You just haven't been explained this properly or how to do it or how at the moment the college wants you to do it. Okay, so we're going to go through the workbook now. You've all got a copy of this workbook in your individual drives, which I've set up for you and I'm going to share. However, I'm going to show you some documents I've made, so you are welcome to send me photographs on WhatsApp because I've set up the WhatsApp group and you're all on WhatsApp now. And I can add them for you. I don't mind doing that. And also, you can send me your write-ups on Word, on a Word document. And again, I can paste that into the workbook for you this end, guys. All right, I can make that happen. So if you can't get it onto the workbook or you can't upload anything, send it to me and I'm happy to do it for you. Not a problem, okay? So we've got no excuses really, right? So let's have a look at the workbook first of all and see how it's made up. So here we are. Here's the workbook. As archaic as it is, it's not the most modern system in the world. We don't really like working on it. I don't like it. You don't like it. But there we go. We are where we are, right? So it's just broken up into the different units, into different jobs. So the 5357, guys, right, is broken up into units 102, 106, 109, 108 in that order. For some reason, 109 becomes 418. So 109, 108, 113, and 115. So it's health and safety, organize and oversee, first fix, and plan and first fix, terminate, inspection testing, and then fault finding to finish off, right? And what we've got to do is kind of unit 102 is health and safety, and here on the workbook is all the criteria. So I've kind of taken care of all this for you, so you haven't really got to worry about it. But if you want to reference it yourself, you can. And I've also sent you all a like a little easy reference guide to this stuff, right? So now let's not worry too much about that. Let's talk a little bit about Unit 102 and what we have to have. So it's things like risk assessments, method statements, barriers. All this stuff here is all for you guys to get, right? So this is called your gap analysis. This is the criteria that you need. And for 102, or for every unit, in fact, you need it on two separate occasions. And 102, as you can see, it says assessor direct observation. Now that means that I've got to come and see you on two separate occasions covering all this criteria. Okay, so it can't be the same criteria. It's got to be two different locations, but I've got to come and see you on site, which I will come and see you on site and we'll cover all these, right? The range is something we've got to cover on a couple of occasions, but they're different things. So, for example, here we've got access equipment, and the range is ladder, tower scaffold or MOOP, step ladder, and platform. So, for example, on the first observation, we might do ladders. On the second observation, we might do step ladders. Or on the first observation, we might do ladders and step ladders and cover them both and not have to do them again. Okay. And then this one, learning outcome 4, you've got to learn 2 of these acts. So all I'm going to say, guys, is just pick 2 of these and just revise them and tell me a few bits and bobs about them, okay? That's it, really. Job location and address and job description I can do because it's my observation on you, so I'll be filling most of that in for you, right? All the professional discussion stuff will go in there. That's what we're going to do on site, so that's for me. Forward planning's for me. So really, guys, for 102, for the both jobs, 1 and 2, all you've got to do is supplementary evidence. So any health and safety pictures in here, which maybe I can get from the observation and pop it in anyway. But you've got to make, basically, you want you to make a risk assessment. So they've got this here, and then you've got to do a method statement. Now, what I have done for you, guys, is this document will now be available to you, which I'm about to show you. For 102, what is a method statement? What should a method statement be used for? What do you need to write a method statement? They are all the bits and bobs. So you can basically use this, right, document and just make a method statement, take all these steps into account and just literally make a method statement and put it on that worksheet or put it on Word, send it to me, and I will then do it for you, right? So that's Unit 102, Health and Safety. All the criteria is there. I'll be sending you a separate criteria sheet, so happy days, right? We don't have to really worry about that anymore, right? So the second unit then on the workbook, let's have a little look and see where we are with it, right? So again, that's 102 finished. We're going to move on to 106 now, right? Organize and oversee the working environment. It's a bit of a nightmare of a unit to get evidence for, but it is what it is, right? So in terms of how you're going to do this, this is part of your job write-up. So again, you'll put your job address in there, tick off any bits and bobs in here that you've got, right? And then you're going to put your write-up here. Now, the question you're asking, I know, is how do I take all this stuff here? I nearly swore then, guys. How do I take all this and make a job write-up? Well, lucky for you, Uncle Craigie sorted it, right? Because what I have got for you all, I'm going to send you this, is Unit 106. When considering the write-up for Unit 106, consider all the questions below and make the job report based on the questions as they relate directly to the criteria. So all the little criteria you see, I've made questions. Now, all you've got to do really is write like a little story using these questions. So we'll just go through a couple of them. I'm going to give you a couple of examples, right? I'm not going to go mad, but the first one, who do you talk to about the systems you will be fitting? Do you have site meetings, etc.? If so, who with? So an easy start to a job right up there would be like, we received a drawing or plan off the client. We had a toolbox talk between the team and we discussed the drawing and design, and any changes or variations that were needed were discussed at that meeting. Job done, right? And again, do you use drawings and designs? Well, yeah, we just mentioned it. Why is it important to provide information in a timely and courteous manner? When discussing the drawings and designs with my team, we provided the information in a way in which everybody could understand and it was professional yet friendly. Can you give me some information on risk assessments you use? You've already covered that in Unit 102, ignore it really. And method statements, again, you've already done it. When issues arise, how do you effectively deal with it? Maybe another trader's got a problem. It could be a theoretical one. So, within the toolbox talk, we discussed that if there's a problem with the plumbers, that we would go directly to the supervisor. Blah, blah, blah. Work your way down the photos, make your job right up, meet these questions. If you do that, the tick box will automatically be filled. So if you follow them questions, right, and like I've asked you to, all this stuff here will all be automatically ticked because them questions I've related directly to this stuff. So just go through them and make a write-up based on that, look, right? So that's 106, and then we're going to move then to Unit 108. Again, as you can see, it's on two separate occasions, so you've got to cover it twice. Make it different on both occasions, juggle the words up about and blah, 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 right? Easy peasy, right? What they want you to do here is a program of work. So you just fill this in. This is easy, like, what date did the job start? What trades did you need and what was the task for? It's not difficult. Or get a program work document and send it to me and we'll just attach that to it. No problem. Right, Unit 108 next we're going to look at now, guys. So let me just pull Unit 108 up for you. Here we go. Unit 108. This is all about terminating, right? This is going to kind of follow on from Unit 109, but I'll just go through it anyway, right? Again, all the criteria here is shown. I want to just go through what you have to do. 4 cables. So minimum of 4 cables. So if we've got 2 occasions on 108, there's like 2 108 sections in this work document. Do 2 cables in the first one and 2 cables in the second one, and then you've covered it on 2 separate occasions, right? So you've got singles, multi-core, twin and earth, mineral insulated, fire performance, SWA, SY, and data. So maybe in this one, in the first job, if you like, you can do singles and PVC, and in the second job, you can do FP200 and SWA. All right. 4 of these, right? So maybe screw in, non-screw compression. Sorry, 2 of these, screw in, non-screw compression. So screw in the first job, non-screw compression in the second one, and 5 accessories, right? So again, maybe 3 accessories in the first section and 2 in the second section, and make sure you reference them where they are and describe them. And pictures of these as well, we want, right? If you're terminating, there's some pictures of it, right? So again, job address, job description. Again, if you want to do it on a Word document, we can copy and paste it in for you at the end, no problem. And it's saying there, look, cover dates, times and work areas. Just add that into your job description. But for the benefit of you guys, what I have done, again, is produced a document whereby if you just answer those questions in a descriptive way, you're going to hit it, right? So what voltage ratings are your termination tools rated up to? They're rated up to 1,000 volts. Why are they rated up to 1,000 volts? Because that's the end of the low voltage band and we're not allowed to work any higher. Okay, so 0 to 50, extra low voltage 50 to 1,000. And that's why they go up to 1,000, bit of useless information for you. But just work through this. And what you'll find is if you work through these pictures, again, guys, you will automatically find that the criteria within the workbook is covered. And again, you're just second fixing the cables there. So that's it. 108, occasion 1, occasion 2. Simple, 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 right? So it's just basically 2 job write-ups covering 4 cables, 4 containments, and 5 accessories split over the 2 job write-ups, and then your photographic evidence to match it, right? Unit 109, right? Okay, let's move on to Unit 109. Let me just get Unit 109 up for you guys. So again, you've got all the criteria there, which we're going to go through in a minute. And again, this is just the first fix of the second fix we've just gone through. So cables, containments, and accessories, exactly the same. The difference here is we've got to have 4 containments. So we're going to have, for example, a PVC conduit and metal conduit in the first write-up, and we're going to have PVC trunking and metal trunking in the second write-up. It doesn't have to be on the same job, even, right? Even, you could have singles in one job, PVC conduit on another job, and isolators on another job. I'll put them together as one job. That's fine, as long as we tick the criteria that you've done them, and we've got evidence of it, and you've written about them, okay? But ultimately, over the course of the MVQ, it's 2 occasions, so 2 job reports, if you like, covering 4 cables, 4 containments, 5 accessories, all right? And you're just going to do, again, the job write-up there. And how do you do the job write-up? Well, let's have a look again then, guys, shall we? Let's have a little look at the questions. Quite a big, meaty one, this one. So this is like some meat and bones of the job. So just go through the questions. What PPE did you use? Give me an example of working within your RAMs. So you're working on a chop saw with goggles and gloves on, for example. The tools that you use and why, why did you use a grinder, to cut tray, whatever, right? How do you store the tools and materials on site, and why do you store them the way you do so as not to trip over them, etc. Just work your way through the questions and just answer the questions in a descriptive way again to make the story of that job, right? Fixings, again, if you're doing PVC conduit, PVC trunking, remember to do 521.10.202. In fact, I'm going to write that in there for you. 521.10.202. Premature collapse in the event of a fire. Don't forget that, right? Safe isolation, full and correct safe isolation, guys, right? Remember, ask permission. GS38, a voltage indicator and proving unit, not a multifunction tester. Knock off, lock off, warning tag, key in pocket, prove, test, prove, want to know the conductors you tested. So full sequence, start to finish, be descriptive. Talk about measuring and marking, tape measures, laser levels. Why is it important to measure and mark correctly? Why is it important that it looks good? I want to put in a little bit about how did you ensure the containment was not overloaded with cables? I want you to work that out from Appendix E from your on-site guide, and I want to know how them tables work. So if you send me a write-up in saying you put singles in a piece of containment, I'll send it back to you and say, we're going to Appendix E. How many cables did you put in there, and how did you know that containment was the right size? And I need to know stuff like that, right? Once I spell appendix correctly. So there we are. That's that. Okay. So that's all, and that's all the installs done. So 4 cables, 4 containments, 5 accessories. Job done. Yeah. Easy peasy so far, so good. Now let's move on and let's have a look at the testing and inspection section. So again, split into 2 jobs, guys. Just following the dots really. But again, all this can go on a Word document and you can send it in to me. And I'm happy to build this for you. It's not a problem. Okay. 110, that is going to be for maintenance, guys. So any of you want to do the maintenance MVQ, if you're doing a lot of maintenance, just add 110. I haven't got anything on 110 because I don't normally do it. But again, you can just follow the criteria and just do a write-up about it if you like. So if you want to do Unit 110, it's 2 occasions, just do it. I don't mind. So that's that. Come on. Right, here we are. Unit 113, inspection and testing. Here we go. Let me get the inspection and testing booklet up so I can share it with you in a second. So again, here we've got all the criteria, everything we need to know, and all the tests, right? This is going to be quite in-depth. The one thing when we're assessing, you all struggle with, and you all struggle with on AM2 is inspection and testing. You're lucky with me because inspection and testing is what I do. It's my forte. So you're all going to be super duper ninjas by the end of it, which is great. But again, I want you to follow this very carefully, be descriptive, and show me your knowledge and what you've learned. All right, so follow all these. I'll just give you a couple of examples of what I'm looking for. So the sequence of tests we're looking for, what tests did you do and in what order? Handover process, but at the bottom of this is where it kind of gets meaty, because the top is just kind of the prep and the safe isolation again. And yes, you have got to do safe isolation again in your testing. But here, for example, look, describe an R1 plus R2 test on a radial circuit. Please show calculated expected results. So I need to know, you can calculate a length of cable, what your expected results are, and how do you find that information in guidance note 3, right? Installation resistance testing, describe test voltages, preparation of the circuits, how, you prepare the circuits, remove the vulnerable equipment, for example, minimum readings, what's the lowest in mega ohms. How do you do it as accordance to guidance note 3? Amendment 2 asks us to do installation resistance testing in a specific way. You need to know that. How do you check polarity? Please describe a ZE test. Please describe a ZS test. Please include maximum values for the circuit being tested from both on-site guide and BS 7671 and explain why values are different in the two books. Please also add why you do a ZS test. Now, with the testing, right, you could, again, you've got to do it on 2 occasions, but you could do dead tests on occasion 1 and live tests on occasion 2. But just be really descriptive. Give me all the information on those tests, right? Follow this to the letter, guys, and you cannot go wrong, right? It's pretty foolproof, right? That's why I've designed these questions the way I have. And the last unit we're going to look at now is fault finding. So let's go back to the workbook and let's get down to fault finding. And again, these are just the 2 occasions that you're going to write about, which you can send to me on a Word. That's absolutely fine. Fault finding criteria, we're going to go through in a minute. Nice and easy. Let me just tell you the meat and bones of it. So you've got to find 3 faults using 3 testers, right? Now, this is vital for this, right? Because a lot of people get this wrong, okay? So here are the range of faults. Here are the testers that we're looking to use, right? So what this means is you've got to use a tester to find and fix a fault. So for example, right, if you've got a loss of supply, you'd use a voltage indicator. Example, a blown fuse in a fuse spur, yeah? So something's not working, like, I don't know, a washing machine, for example, right? So you open up the fuse spur, test it, you've got a voltage there behind it, right? Test at the bottom, you've got no voltage. You pull the fuse out, do a little continuity test, nothing there. Get a new fuse, do a continuity test, it's good, put it back in, put it back on, functional test is working, job done. Yeah, you've found, fixed, and tested using a voltage indicator. A low resistance ohm meter or continuity tester, where we're going to call it low resistance ohm meter. We're looking for open circuits there. Look, open circuit fault. So again, safe isolation. Safe isolation, then test. If it's a ring, for example, you tested line to line and you got a result greater than the tester can read, then you went around, however you found the fault. There's a logical way of doing this, which I'm going to leave to you. You can research that. But then you found the open circuit, you then fixed it, then you retested, and you've done it using that tester. And then you might have a short circuit then, which, the MCB is tripping out. Again, you've safely isolated. You've done your insulation resistance test. You've got a 0 mega ohms reading on your insulation resistance tester, indicating a short circuit. You've found the fault. However, you've logically gone out and found it, broke the circuit down, for example. You've then fixed it. Picture of the actual fault as well, guys, right? Need to see what's gone wrong. And then retest, and then you get your good reading, and then happy days. And then you've found your 3 faults using your 3 testers, okay? And how to write them up, again, I'm just going to pull that up for you. This is the final one. So we're nearly there. So here we go. Again, follow the questions for your job write-ups, and this is for each fault. So you've got to go through a series of questions for each fault and give me a detailed answer. So maybe you could do 2 faults in write-up number 1 and 1 fault in write-up number 2, and then happy days, you've covered 3 faults over 2 occasions using 3 testers. Job done. Look at that. Fireworks. Yeah? What do you think about that then? So that, guys, is literally the whole MVQ. That is all you've got to do. So we've got health and safety. That's down to me coming to see you. We've got organize and oversee, 2 write-ups. We've got 108 and 109s, 4 jobs, 4 cables, 4 containments, 5 accessories, split over 2 occasions. And then same with inspection and testing. Might even get into doing some inspection and testing. One of those occasions, I might even come and see you and observe you and write it up myself. So, depending on how we feel, happy days. If we can do that, certainly would be easier for you guys, wouldn't it? So bear that in mind. Any questions, guys, please ask me. But that is the workbook. That's the write-ups. That's the full MVQ. That's what I put on WhatsApp. Nobody, apart from my learners in the entire UK, get this kind of service, as you've seen from the previous stuff you've gone through. Now you've got me. Now we're going to work hard and we can get this done. But I am proactive. If you are, I won't chase you guys. This is your MVQ, own it. But I will help you as much as I can in terms of providing this content. And I've got tons more videos, hundreds of them to start sending out to you. But I want some engagement on that group as well. I want you to get involved. If I see you're not getting involved, I won't get involved. I'll just do the bare minimum, and I don't want to do that. So I want you to get involved as well. Ask questions, push yourselves, and let's go for it, okay? Stretch and challenge, as they say, right? So thank you very much indeed, guys. I'm going to be uploading this to YouTube and putting the link on the WhatsApp group, and I'm going to send it all to you individually as well. Please ask as many questions as you like. Bug me, pester me. Let me do them reviews with you guys, because for some reason they don't let us concentrate on the MVQs. We have to get the reviews done. And don't forget, you're off the job. Get that up to 20%. If you're not, I'm going to be pushing and pushing and nagging. Even watching this in the van while you're on the way to work is off the job. Get it logged. And then let's get their percentages up to 20% or above, and let's smash it. Get that out of the way as quick as you can. Thank you very much indeed, guys. I'm looking forward to meeting each and every one of you and building some